They told me the warehouse was empty. The motion sensors confirmed it. But the camera feed showed something else, something that didn't move like a man, but wore the shape of one.
Story.
My name is Leo, and last year I took a job as the overnight security guard at the old Kenworth Storage and Distribution Center. It was a relic from the 70s, a sprawling maze of corrugated steel and endless aisles of forgotten inventory. The pay was decent, the silence was absolute, and for a guy trying to finish his degree, it was perfect. Or so I thought. The first few nights were uneventful. I'd do my rounds, my flashlight beam cutting a lonely path through the canyon of boxes. The only sound, the hum of the industrial fridge units, and the occasional scuttle of what I hoped were just rats. A small windowless room lit by the ghostly blue glow of a bank of 16 CCTV monitors. Each one showed a static, black and white slice of the warehouse. Aisle 3B. Loading dock, west, mezzanine. The system was old, but it had one modern feature. Motion sensors covered every square foot. If anything bigger than a raccoon moved, a little red dot would blink on the corresponding monitor, and a soft digital chime would sound in the office. It was on a Tuesday, around 2:17 a.m., when I saw it for the first time. I was sipping lukewarm coffee, scrolling through my phone, when a flicker of movement on monitor 12 caught my eye. It was the view of aisle 7, the long-term archival section. The lighting was poor there, the shadows deep and pooling between the tall metal shelves. I leaned forward, squinting. Something was in the aisle. It was low to the ground, a pale, blurry shape. I thought it was a trick of the light, a plastic sheet maybe, then it moved. It didn't stand up, it crawled. It was on all fours, its limbs articulating with a speed that was all wrong. It scuttled from the shadow of one shelf to the next, a hunched, human-like form that covered 10 yards in less than a second. My blood went cold. My training kicked in. I slammed my hand on the console, my finger hovering over the panic button. My eyes darted to the sensor status display. The grid for aisle 7 was a solid, uninterrupted green. No alert, no chime. Must be a glitch. I whispered to the silent room, my voice trembling. A reflection. A bug on the lens. I rewound the footage. The time stamp was correct. The figure was there, clear as day, moving with that horrifying, skittering gait. But the sensor log was blank. Nothing. As if it wasn't really there. For the next hour, I didn't move. I stared at monitor 12 until my eyes ached, my coffee forgotten and cold. The warehouse remained silent. The sensors remained dormant. I convinced myself it was a one-off, a bizarre system error. I was tired. My mind was playing tricks. The next night, I was on edge. I avoided looking at the monitors for too long, focusing on my paperwork. But at exactly 2:17 a.m., the same digital clock glowing in the dark, I heard it. A faint, rhythmic scraping sound from the live feed speaker for aisle 7. It sounded like dragging. I couldn't look away. My heart was a hammer in my chest, and then I saw it again. On monitor 12. It was closer this time, halfway down the aisle. It paused, its head a dark, featureless blob, tilted upwards, as if staring directly into the camera. The motion sensors were still a calm, steady green. A cold sweat broke out on my forehead. This was no glitch. This was something the sensors couldn't or wouldn't recognize. I grabbed my heavy-duty flashlight and my radio, my hands shaking. I had to check. I had to prove to myself it was nothing. The moment I stepped out of the office, the air changed. The familiar hum of the fridge unit seemed menacing now. The darkness in the main warehouse felt thick, suffocating. My flashlight beam felt pathetically small. I made my way towards aisle 7, my footsteps echoing too loudly in the vast space. I stopped at the entrance to the aisle. It was a tunnel of darkness, the motion-activated lights at the far end refusing to turn on. I shone my light down its length, empty, just dust and boxes. "Hello?" I called out, my voice thin and reedy. "Security?" Silence. Then from deep within the aisle, I heard a soft, wet click, then another. It was the sound of a dog's claws on concrete, but slower, more deliberate. The sound was moving towards me. I backed away, my breath catching in my throat. I fumbled for my radio. Bays, this is Leo. I've got a possible intruder in aisle 7. Sensors are clear, but I have visual and audio confirmation. Only static hissed back. The clicking stopped. It was replaced by a low, guttural breathing, so close it could have been right beside me. I swung my flashlight beam wildly. Nothing. I ran. I didn't care about protocol. Sprinted back towards the safety of the office, the feeling of being pursued a cold fire on my back. I didn't look back. I burst into the office, slamming the door shut and locking it, my chest heaving. I collapsed into my chair, gasping, and looked up at the bank of monitors. It was on monitor 1, camera right outside the office door. It was crouched on the floor, its long, pale limbs folded awkwardly beneath it. Its head was tilted at an impossible angle, pressing against the lens of the camera. A dark, smudged face with no visible features except for a faint, wet gleam where a mouth should be. It was so close the image was distorted, and on the sensor panel, every light was a peaceful, untroubled green. I never went back. I quit the next morning, citing personal reasons. They never found anything. No signs of a break-in, no malfunctions in the system. But sometimes, when I'm lying awake at night, I think about the new guy they hired. I wonder if he's sitting in that office right now, watching the monitors, waiting for the clock to hit 2:17, waiting to see the thing the sensors can't see, crawling through the silence, getting closer to his door,